It wasn't so long ago that AIDS was a guaranteed death sentence. And thanks to those confronting ads in the 80s, we all knew it. They weren't exactly subtle. In fact, they scared the hell out of us. But the shock tactics worked and the rate of HIV infection in Australia plummeted. We thought we had it under control, that we were playing it safe. But guess what? The infection rate has shot up again, and surprisingly, it's now straight women who are among the most vulnerable. A stunning morning in Apollo Bay on Victoria's Great Ocean Road. While many sleep in, a few of Australia's fittest are about to hit the sand and surf in a day-long sports festival.
Yeah, I woke up feeling good this morning, alert, and I've gone for a couple of little light jogs and the body's responding, so yeah, should have a good run this morning.
Deanna Blegg is a true Iron Woman. She's 41, but competes against athletes half her age.
Make your way fast down.
There's no doubt Deanna is in amazing shape, and this is what she loves doing, racing and pushing her body to the limit. But what's not obvious is that she's living with a life-threatening illness, and doctors once told her she had just months to live.
You're super fit and you seem to be an absolute picture of health. Is that entirely the case?
I am fit, I am healthy, however I also carry the HIV virus.
It was 16 years ago that Deanna contracted HIV from unprotected sex with a former boyfriend. It's a grim reality that Deanna lives with, amid the challenges of daily life as a busy mum to 13-year-old Tia and a son who's just turned 8. Tell me about that moment when you found out.
Nothing can prepare you for the words, the test result being positive. It took me a while to get my head around it because I felt very, very ashamed. I just felt, you idiot, Deanna, you know, how on earth do you let this get into you?
Alarmingly, 1,000 Australians a year are now diagnosed with HIV, the deadly virus that can lead to AIDS.
It's a disgusting disease in their eyes.
That's almost double the rate of 10 years ago.
Because I was infected from travelling overseas.
And these women are proof the virus is no longer confined to a single group.
I think for all of us, when we were first diagnosed, that it shatters the spirit. And I think, I guess all of us just felt so isolated, so cut off.
They're all women, all HIV positive, and like 98% of all new infection, they contracted HIV through heterosexual sex.
I mean, HIV is something that has never crossed my mind until it happened. It's something that's never spoken about. It's something that's never put to you as a heterosexual woman.
Sarah is 24 years old and was diagnosed with HIV in 2008. So what did you know in school about HIV? What were you taught about HIV?
Nothing. You know, you get told about pregnancy, you get told about other STIs, but, you know, when you're a young heterosexual couple, you're not thinking about HIV. It's like, you know, because that happens in Africa, not in Australia.
Sarah always heeded the warnings. She wasn't an IV drug user and never took chances with casual sex. But like many people, once in a relationship, she believed she was safe. And because you were in this relationship, you didn't think there was a risk?
No. You know, we're in a long-term relationship, so, you know, we weren't practising safe sex. I went and got tested, came back positive, and told him about it, and, yeah, he sort of thought that it was possibly him that had it first.
How do you deal with
Medical advances mean HIV can now be managed with proper treatment. But it's a long, hard road. Sarah faces a lifetime of powerful medication.
Do you get mad?
Yeah. I think everyone that gets sick gets mad, you know. You don't want this to happen.
And it's not just the virus Sarah must live with. It's also the prejudice, fear and stigma that still surrounds HIV. The stigma is still enormous.
It is. I mean...
How have you experienced that?
I've had people tell me that I should just go die and that, you know... Are
you serious?
Yeah, just, you know, that I'm disgusting and that, you know, I don't sort of deserve to be breathing the same air, you know, like, and that still happens today. And
How do you handle that?
well, you got to let those people go.
If such ignorance exists today, just imagine what it was like for Deanna back in the early 90s when she was diagnosed while on a backpacking tour around the world. When did you first know? What were the first signs?
I had really huge fevers, hot and cold, sweating massive, like I just drenched my clothes. I knew something wasn't quite right. Over a period of about 6 weeks of time, I lost about 20 kilos of weight. Like it just dropped off
20
me.
kilos?
20 kilos. I just went to skin and bone in no time. And it just got to a stage. I went to the doctors. I said, look, test me for everything. And that's when I also requested a HIV test.
The news was bad, and within months, the virus had progressed to AIDS. Deanna was on a cocktail of toxic drugs, almost 30 pills a day, that ravaged her body even more. At one point, she even considered giving up the fight.
I remember discussing with the counsellor, talk about euthanasia. Like, I just thought, I don't want to die. I don't want to fade away.
You explored that?
Yeah, for
How
sure.
to die?
Yeah, not that I didn't want to kill myself, but at that time, I didn't want my strong body to fade. Yeah.
30 years ago, if you were diagnosed with HIV, what was your fate?
30 years ago, HIV was universally a death sentence, and a pretty awful one at that. So this is where...
Professor Sharon Lewin is Australia's leading HIV expert. She coordinates 3 research teams at Melbourne's Alfred Hospital, Monash University and the Burnett Virology Centre.
People with HIV are leading really, really improved, almost normal lives. They still have to take tablets every day, and there's still side effects on the tablets.
Last year, Sharon and her teams made a breakthrough. They found where HIV cells hide in the body. It was a needle in a haystack discovery.
It's a really, really clever virus on a whole lot of levels, not only in its capacity to change all the time and evade the immune system and evade drugs, but this capacity to go to sleep in some cells and hide in these small pockets of the body. I'm just going to show you some of the cells.
The discovery means better treatment. But now people with HIV are living far longer. The drugs themselves are creating a whole new raft of health issues.
So we see a lot of heart disease, for example, diabetes, lipid problems.
Is the virus changing, or is that a result of the medicine?
It's a result of people living longer with the virus.
Deanna Blake has lived 11 years longer than doctors predicted. But remarkable success stories like hers have created new problems. There's now a widely held perception that the battle against HIV has been won.
One of the fallouts from having such improved prognosis is that people aren't as scared of HIV as they were before.
That's a dangerous complacency.
It's still not a walk in the park. People have to be in regular medical care, on treatment lifelong, and there still are ongoing toxicities and complications from the treatment.
And we've all had those darker days. Picked each other up and...
A number of support groups now operate specifically for heterosexual women.
Meeting other women, it was like, you've got it too, and oh, really?
Here they can open up about their health, their problems, and their men.
Relationships, I mean, they do work, the long-term ones, but it's like getting to that point, it's...
Do you find it difficult having relationships now?
Yeah, because it's that whole negotiating, you know, like when to tell a partner, stuff like that. And I mean, that's just an absolute minefield that will take a while to learn how to negotiate through, I guess.
Have you been able to get into a relationship?
I've had short-term relationships, but again, then it's just my fear of infecting them, so it's generally me that sort of backs away.
Many more personal challenges lie ahead for Sarah. Perhaps the biggest for HIV-positive women is motherhood. To have her 2 children, Deanna knew there was a very slim chance the virus could be passed on.
How do you conceive without, putting your partner at risk? Fortunately, we had a few options to work with, and we decided to go natural. 2 consenting adults aware of our risks. We spoke with our doctor, and we conceived first go, so that was one low exposure. But yeah.
And your partner wasn't infected?
That's right, he was not infected. Oh, thanks, sweetie.
And happily, neither were Tia and her brother. And from the start, Deanna's been open with them about her condition.
How proud are you of Mum?
I'm really proud. She's my mom. I love her. It doesn't really matter.
And the gold medalist, Deanna Blagg.
Deanna once thought she had just months to live. Now the finish line is a long way off.
I have also learnt through life that you can never predict your future. But I believe, all being well, that I will live a long life and I will see my daughter reach well above 21.
And you weren't meant to live to 30.
That's right, yeah, and 41 now and feel amazing and just, I celebrate each year. I just don't, 40, fantastic. Bring on 50.
But Sarah's just starting her life with HIV. And at times, it's a lonely, confusing journey.
I feel like it's branded across me, but I know that I don't look like I've got HIV, but who does look like they have HIV?
If you had one message for young women about HIV, what would it be?
HIV exists, it's real, and it can happen to anyone. Just to be aware and be safe and smart, because it could happen to you, so.
Hello, I'm Amelia Adams. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minute segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.